Hello, beautiful queen, coaches, healers, therapists. How are you? This is Fatima, Omar, Khamissa, and today we are speaking about ancestral bondage. How do you break those ancestral bonds that have kept you stuck, struggling, invisible, where you just don't know how to be able to say, wow, I want this. I want all parts of me to want this, and I'm just going to go get it. Okay, so today we're going to go right into all of that. This is a different setup. I got my whiteboard out today. And if this is the very first time we're meeting, come say hello. Introduce yourself. Tell me where you're checking in from in the world. I want to connect with you. I want to say hello. I've got my laptop sitting over there. So I might go over there, bring my laptop over here and be like, okay, who's out there? Who's saying hello? And let me introduce myself to you. Okay, my name is Fatima Omar Khamissa. I know that there's a lot of new people here inside of the group. I am the creative founder of Million Stars Academy, where we equip women, support women, help them, the templates, the guides, the done for you content, to be able to go out there and create an extraordinary, amazing business online. So you are, seen as a celebrity in your niche, and you stop being the world's best kept secret. Oh my God. So you can make more money than your male relatives. That's what we do. Until I die, I am going to be fighting for women to be making money so she can be empowered, so you can have choices. How's that sound? So today our topic is ancestral bondage. Huge controversial topic, but let's get right into it. I see some comments coming through. I'm going to come over here so you can see me. I'm on my laptop right here. Hello, Habiba is here. Shiam is here. Fantastic, fantastic. So I'm moving my laptop. Here we go. Here's my laptop. I'm moving it so I can really get inside of your world and really talk about this whole idea of what did you inherit from your ancestors that you may not want to anymore. Maybe you don't want that belief system. Maybe you don't want that idea. So let's get right into the topic, okay? Awesome, awesome. All of you are coming online. Come say hello. Tell me where you're checking in from. And let's get right into it. So when we talk about ancestral bondage and all of that stuff that we have, let's get right into this subject here that we're talking about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the what. Okay, the what. What is that thing that we're talking about? What is ancestral bondage? Now you might be saying, well, you know what? My parents were not slaves. My grandparents did not grow up in, being shipped from one country to another, because I know a lot of people that have. Your grandparents in your history, you have that experience. You have that where grandparents, great-grandparents were in bondage or slavery. And so I'm just turning off this fan here that's making a lot of noise here. And so you might be saying, well, that wasn't our experience. Well, what I'm talking about is not a physical slavery or bondage, but this is also part of the equation. What we're talking about here is the ideas that are inside of your head that may not necessarily be from you. Ideas and thoughts and limits in your head that you didn't just take it, you inherited it. So let me give you an example, okay? If your family grew up in a depression, okay? And so in the depression, there was a shortage of food, and there was a shortage of money, and there was a shortage of jobs. So the idea that they had was save money. When things go on sale, you better buy a lot and hoard it, because they might not be things in the stores. There's a shortage everywhere. So the idea that was passed on was an idea of shortage. There's not going to be enough. So we better hide, we better save, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. How do you have this thought in your mind? So the depression happened many, many, many years ago, and you today are still thinking about shortages. You're still thinking about scarcity. You're still thinking about let's save, let's hoard, let's penny pinch, okay? And so that idea has been inherited to you, given to you as an inheritance. And here you are today, you can go to the store and there's plentiful. There's so much meat available, and flour and sugar and oil and fruits and vegetables. And there is a plethora of choices. Yet in your mind, you have a scarcity mentality. And if you have a scarcity mentality, ask yourself, where did I inherit that from? Okay, here's another example on the what. Okay, and so let's talk about, I am a child of apartheid. So let's talk about apartheid, okay, and segregation, slavery. Okay, we talk about all of these things where you have a racism mentality, right? Racism mentality, and where the law makes racism legal, right? And where the law says, well, if you're white, you have these rules that apply to you. If you're black, you have these rules that apply to you. And now when you look at in the USA alone, if you go back, slavery was not that long ago, right? There were black people that grew up on plantations in the United States not a very long time ago. Martin Luther King was part of the civil rights movement in the United States. And so where are those grandparents' belief systems? The great-grandparents that went through it, your great-grandparents, your grandparents that experienced apartheid, segregation, slavery, and racism, okay? And so when you have those thoughts and you have those fears, right, about what are people going to do? Are they going to catch me? Are they going to lock me up? Am I going to have imprisonment? Because your crime is that you were born a wrong skin color in these times. And so here you are today, and you're still, no one is saying to you, well, you're not allowed to eat in this restaurant, or you can't get a job here, because today you are judged on your merit. But inside of your beliefs, you still have those fears. Am I white enough? Do I have the right context? Are they going to see me differently? Okay, so now these are the belief systems you inherited if your parents, grandparents, and if you experienced any of this, you are giving those limits to your children because that's your belief system. Okay, let's go to one more, right? So I gave you as an example of the depression. I gave you an example of racism and slavery. Here's another example, okay? Being a woman, okay? Being a woman. And so in history, women were treated a certain way. If you come from a certain culture or a certain faith or a certain religion or from a certain country, women are treated a certain way. How was your great-grandmother treated? How was your grandmother treated? How was your mother treated? What were the values that were built around your family according to your great-grandparents and the men in your family on how women were supposed to be treated? Okay, so that's family. What about the country you came from? When were women allowed to vote? When were women allowed to have their own bank account? When were women allowed to go out there and create a business of their own? So what were you told and what did you hear from family members and institutions and governments around how you grew up all around women? Okay, as a woman, What were you allowed to do by the patriarchal society? What were you allowed to do? And so what did you inherit in your beliefs on what a woman's role is? Okay, the role of women, the role, okay, what are you supposed to do? What is accepted? And all of the beliefs around women. Okay, so I gave you 3 different examples here. I gave you an example on racism and race. I gave you an example on the depression, which is like an era. And then I gave you an example about women, a role, your role as a woman, and the women in your family, the women inside of the society, and the women in what does the government allow you to do. Now, you can take out a pen and paper right now and start writing down everything that you were taught, everything that you learned, everything that you heard, conversations around family members, okay? I'll give you one more example. So we talked about the depression, okay? We talked about race. We talked about the role, a woman, women's place. And one more I'm going to talk to you about, and that is on money. Okay, so I'm going to use these 4 examples for today. We could go on and we can talk about a lot of different things, but I brought these 4 up because these are really critical for what you're creating in your life today. So let's talk about money in your life. What did you hear? Let's talk about the history of your great-grandparents. Maybe they immigrated from another country. Maybe they were slaves. Maybe they were in bondage. Maybe they experienced apartheid or racism or segregation. What were the money stories? And outside of all of that, maybe they didn't have experienced depression or segregation, racism, slavery, or anything else. What was the story around money that you inherited? What were the conversations about money? Did they even talk to you about money, or was it like a hidden thing that we were not allowed to talk to children about money when you were growing up? Was money something that everyone complained about? Was it something that you had to, kiss up bosses because you had to be grateful for the job that you had? Was it something where there was never enough, right? Was it always more month at the end of the money, right? Did you have to work hard for your money? Did you always have to penny pinch and save your money? And so how does that show up today when you look at these belief systems that you inherited from your family when it comes to money? And all of these things, I have good news and bad news, okay? The bad news is that these are inside of your other than conscious systems, and this is what's running you. This is what's running you all the time. So you have a goal. You say, I want to generate 6 figures in the next 12 months. And that's your goal, okay? And here you are. You have the will, you have the drive, you have the fire, you have the desire, all of that. And you think, oh my God, this is my year. I am going to do it. I'm going to break through all of those things I didn't have before. But all of these things are running the show in the back of your mind. So your other than conscious mind is running every belief you have. Whatever your grandparents gave you in your inheritance, that is what's running 99% of your program. While your 1% has got the cards and they're running and it's like, we're going to do it and we're cheering you on, that's only 1%. While 99% of this is running the show behind the scenes and you're not even conscious. That's the bad news. The good news is this. Once you make yourself aware of the programs, you can bypass it and you can learn how to do it. How awesome is that, right? So awesome. Okay, fantastic. So now we did this. We know the what. We know the what. It's very, very clear. And so let me tell you a little bit about something called epigenetics. And let me tell you the who. Who was the person? And I have worked personally with a guy, and you can go and Google him. Okay, his name is Dr. Bruce Lipton. And Dr. Bruce Lipton wrote a book many, many years ago. And I'm trying to figure out the year that I actually read the book. My guess, it might have been 2001 or 2002. I can't remember. And it's called The Biology of Belief. Okay, and then I worked with him, and then we, went to so many of his courses. Then he did different conventions and courses with with Greg Braden and with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and that's how I got introduced to him and really started following his work. Dr. Bruce Lipton is a PhD. He's a microbiologist, and he was in Harvard teaching students who were becoming doctors, medical students, how to become doctors and training them. And when he started finding out that in The Biology Belief, this is the book he wrote, because he started learning the science of epigenetics. Okay, and the science of epigenetics says, and I'll just summarize it for you, his work, that when a mother has a feeling and an emotional feeling and a thought, whatever she's experiencing in her environment, what's going on, conversations that she's listening to, all of the things that are happening around her, her thoughts and her feelings about that situation actually changes the DNA of the baby. And everything she's experiencing, she's not just giving her baby food and nutrients, she's also sharing the emotions that are going on around her. Then they took the study further. They started telling us that we are inheriting all of the thoughts and beliefs through the womb, through the mothers. So if you have a deja vu moment or something, it's probably because some grandma, great grandma, and the line of the women that have come before you have given you those belief systems that they had, whatever situations they were going through. Okay, now I look at my own grandparents, and both my maternal side and my paternal side, my paternal grandparents come from a small little village called Porbandar in India, which is where Gandhi came from. So they shared the same village. My maternal grandparents come from a little bit north of India called Gujarat, but they all left in the late 1800s, early 1900s on the ships going from India to South Africa. Now imagine there was a war happening. Okay, the Indians, the Muslims, the Hindus, the Christians, the Tamils were all living a very, very peaceful life until the British showed up in England, in India. And then there was a war that happened, and Muslims were killed, Hindus were killed, Tamils were killed, and they all left India to go to South Africa. Well, they were about 10 or 12 ships that went down. And I think to myself, what thoughts and feelings were my grandparents going through as they left their families behind and they were running for safety to a strange country they knew nothing about, not learning or knowing one word of English, to a strange place, thinking that they were going to freedom, but leaving their family behind, leaving their parents behind. And so you have inherited all those feelings and thoughts and experiences through the wombs of your mothers. That is the science of epigenetics. How interesting, how wonderful. So we can change that. We have the ability to actually change all of that, okay? So you want to check this out and really check into Dr. Bruce Lipton and the science of epigenetics. Okay, let's move on. And now the next question I want to ask you, we went through the how, right? Sorry, we went through the what. What was it? We talked about the depression, racism, all kinds of women issues, money issues. Who first taught me about that? And there is actually a science that's being taught at the university level called the science of epigenetics. So you know a little bit about it from my layman's perspective, but I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you how I understand it and why it has been such a powerful tool in my life. Now let's go to the why. Why? Why would it be important, right? Let's talk about this why. Why would it be important for you to want to actually change this? Why is it important that you know about this information? Why is it important that you break those ancestral bonds? Why? And I'd love to see some comments coming through, right? What is that thing inside of you that drives you? Why do you think right now, as you listen to this information, that you would want to have a pattern interrupt? Okay, so your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, all of those people have given you this information. So you're going along this line. Here you are, you're just going along this line. And the predictable future is you will end up right there, right? Where they started, you will end up right there. Or you might just have a little bit of a change and then you come back down, a little bit of a change and you come back down. But there's no huge difference. There's no like a jump. And so why in right now, as you're listening to this, why would this be important for you? Why would you say, I actually want this change, right? So your why could be, I want to be the first millionaire in my family. I want to be the auntie and or the sister that people look up to and say, she was the first person who did that. And so when you create a pattern interrupt, right? A pattern interrupt. So here you go, you're going along, and you suddenly have this kind of projection somewhere along the line, right? Because when you're having little blips of change, that's just willpower and that's pushing you. And that's a drive to say, well, I want that, okay? And you just push and push and push. But the willpower can only last so long because the program, let me use a different color here. The program brings you back. So here you are, you're going along. Oh my God, I'm trying. And you get this little bump of excitement, but then you go back and the dip is because the program is pulling you back down. It's like this huge giant magnet. Then you try again, and you have a little blip and you have a little bit of success, but then you come back down because this is a life of default. This is someone whose programming is not upgraded. So what you want to do is when you do something where you change your programming, and we use energetic tools to help you, meditations to help you, all of that, you have a pattern interrupt. And now what do? You upgrade your programming. Upgrade. You want to upgrade. Upgrade your programming, and now there is a moment in time right here where you go, wow, I changed something. I changed something. Okay, now you have a new thermostat, a new reading on your thermostat. And as you keep on going, that's how I did it. I had never earned $1 in my life. And then when I finally left my violent abusive relationship, I didn't know how to make money, never had a job. I am very, very officially unemployable. I've never written a resume in my whole life. And so my dad took care of me. Then my husband and his family took care of me financially. And guess what? I was collecting a welfare check from the government for $535. I didn't know anything about that. And I had to create a new pattern and recreate myself over and over again and say, I'm going to generate 10,000. I'm going to generate 20,000 a month. I'm going to generate 30,000 a month. I'm going to generate 50,000 a month, and keep on going and working with myself and my mind until I got there. Okay. And so that's what you want to do. You want to have a new thermostat, right? Is this making sense to you? Give me some feedback here. Tell me if this is making sense. The good news is you can actually create a new thermostat. Every time you change it, you create a new thermostat, because, let me move this pen if you can't see the red pen. Oopsie daisies. Oh, no, it's gone under that. Right? It's either, you have two choices here, default or design. So if you have not learned how to use energetic tools to switch your programming and upgrade your programming, you have been living a life on default. The same bondages that your ancestors gave you, which they didn't know anything about. They had no clue. This is new science that we are learning today. You have been running your entire life, your relationships, your health, your bank account, your career, your clients, all on default. Now, inside of the academy, in Million Stars, everybody is on design. Now, does that mean you don't go back to default sometimes? Yeah, but you got accountability queens inside of there to remind you to go, hey, are you doing that? And then there's me all the time to get you back to design. And that's why the academy is 1 year, because we know you haven't been running your program for 1 year. You've been running on your program for decades. And so we help you to create a life of design. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you 4 steps that you can do. 4 steps that you can do and say, wow, here are the 4 steps that you can do. Awesome. Okay, now, let's say you're saying, well, I want to speak to Fatima about this. I want to really understand that. Book a call with me. You can put speak to Fatima on there, and we'll be able to have a conversation. Now, what I did for you today is I actually wrote down an acronym. An acronym, whoopsie daisies. And the acronym I used today on this is EPIC. E-P-I-C. EPIC. How do you create an epic life? Right? How do you do it? Because I can tell you, if I have been able to do it, you can do it too. You can do it too. So step number 1 in EPIC is the E. What does the E stand for? The E in EPIC stands for explore existing beliefs. So the E is you want to really look and see, right? Explore existing beliefs. Look and see your life. Look at your life today. See what's working and what's not working. And then backtrack and ask yourself, how did I get here? Why is my bank account looking like this? Why do I think this way? Why is my body looking this way? Why am I always unhappy? Why do my relationships not work out? Why do I try this business and it's not working out? Why am I unhappy in my job situation? You want to explore your existing beliefs, because until you know what you're dealing with, you can't fix it. Okay, that's for the E. In the P, what I want you to do is I want you to picture your dream life. Most people have never taken the time to imagine what they want to create. What is that ideal life? What is that dream life? Who is in there? What smells do you smell? Right? What food are you eating? What car are you driving? What kind of people are you serving? What kind of money are you making? Who are you sharing this? What do you look like? Right? Where are you? Where is your house? Is it on the mountain? Is it on the beach? Is it a nice condo somewhere? Right? Is it winter? Is it summer? What are you wearing? What is all those aspects of that dream life? Are you fulfilling your purpose? Are you on a mission somewhere? Are you climbing a mountain? Are you helping orphan children? Are you helping women? Are you speaking on stage? Are you a best-selling author? What is that dream life? The fourth one is the I. The I is invest. Invest in yourself. I have done without so much and created short sacrifices for long-term gain. I have taken money out of my children's bank account. I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I have used credit cards. I have sold things. I have begged and borrowed money from people to invest in coaching programs and hired people. Because I know that if someone else is doing it out there and they know one thing that I don't know, I am going to hunt that person down, pay the money, get the clues, get the resources, and implement it in my life, taking that imperfect action. I am the imperfect action queen. Okay? I just say to myself, is this legal? Is this okay in my faith? And boom, I put my blinders on and I just go. I never second guess my coach, because guess what? If I knew how to do it, I would have done it already. And that just exploded my results and allowed me to give my family the life I wanted to give them. Okay? So that is invest in yourself. What does that look like? Is it reading a book? Is it hiring a coach? Is it joining a program? Is it having a fitness trainer? What is investing in yourself look like for you? And then the C. The C is co-create your world. Okay? Co-create your new world. And what does co-creating your new world means? Having God by your side, co-creating your world. A mentor, accountability partners, community of women that can help you. Bring in all the forces that you need, because you are not alone. You are so not alone in your world. So you get to co-create your life that way, right? Bring in God in your corner and say, use me to make this world a better place. Use me so I don't feel ashamed when I stand in front of you. Surround yourself by women, with women that will uplift you and you will rise together. Get a coach, get a mentor. Even if it's not me, go find someone. Invest in that person's program and rise together so you can help each other. You can help yourself. You can help your clients. You can help your family. Because when wonderful, kind-hearted women have money, the world becomes a better place. I know. I have seen it, because women will open their purses and give. Okay, so there it is. Epic. How do you create an epic life? E, explore existing beliefs. Okay? P, picture your dream world and get so specific and so clear about what that is. I, invest in yourself. You are the main person in your show, my darling queen. You are. And C, co-create your new world. So it is epic. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions. You know that I am here to support you and love you every step of the way. If you want to have a conversation, our new semester in the academy starts tomorrow. If you want to talk about that, you want to create this life that is extraordinary, and you're so tired of what 2020 brought into your life, and you want to say, wow, I want something different. Not just a little change, but I want something transformative. I want something new. I want something unrecognizable. Then I'm the coach for you. Because I can tell you, if a welfare mom with 5 kids and a child with a disability, running, saving my life, homeless, can create the world I have today, generating 5 figures a month, you can do it too. You can absolutely do 5 figures, high 5 figures monthly. And I am the girl to show you how to do that. So I love you. That's what I got for you. Go create an epic life. If you want to book a call, put down Speak with Fatima, and somebody from my team will definitely contact you. I love you so much. May God shower your life with sprinkles of gladness, goodness, happiness all around you and your family everywhere. My love to you. Bye for now.